Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today on my Get Ready With Me video. First off, I'm going to use the Mercier primer. Now this primer is awesome because it's going to smooth the skin. It's going to make your makeup go on so nicely and flawless, and I love the fact that these primers have a luminosity, so they make your skin literally glow. After blending the product into your face, I like to start with my foundation. So today I'm using the MAC foundation in NC20. Now this is a pro longwear, so it is a fuller coverage. I like to use a beauty blender to apply my foundation, and always make sure that your beauty blender is damp. I'll use one pump of foundation for the left side, one pump for the right side, and the key here is blend. Next up for concealer, this is the NARS Radiant Concealer. I love it because it is so creamy. It goes on really nicely underneath the eye, and then I like to apply a little bit down the center of my nose, as well as the bottoms of my nose. Usually at the bottom of your nose is where you get a little bit of redness, so it's nice to kind of add some coverage there. And again, using your beauty blender and making sure that you're blending in the product. Next up, to set my makeup, I'm going to be using the Mercier translucent powder. Now this translucent powder is awesome because it really does make your makeup last all day long. It is going to give a little bit more of that matte finish, but you're going to absolutely love it once you start using it. Usually I don't do this process, but I wanted to show you guys in this video how you would bake. So here is where you use your beauty blender, dip it into the translucent powder, and let it sit under your eyes for about 5 minutes. So while we wait, we're going to get started and do the contour. The contour kit I like using is the Anastasia Kit. You're going to see here I have 3 dark colors and 3 light colors. This is going to be awesome to define the features of your face. You can use one of the colors or you can mix them. Here you're going to see that it does look like it's very rich and it goes on a lot, but don't worry, by the end of this video we're going to blend it all out so it makes sense. Here you're just defining the features of your face, so I like to do around the hairline. Of course, you're contouring your jawline, and then I'm going to come down into the cheekbones. Now, if you want to have a little bit more of a chiseled look, I do define my nose. So I use a little bit of the product, tap off the excess, and just run a straight little line down my nose. And again, making sure that all this is going to be blended by the end of it. Next up for cheeks, I'm going to use this MAC Mineralize Blush. Now what I like about the Mineralize Blush is it has a little bit of a sheen to it. I would say like a glow, so it's nice, it gives that nice luminosity, and I'm all about that JLo glow and making your skin look beautiful and radiant. Now you will notice with the Mineralized Blush, it is a little bit stronger in terms of color. For the Glow palette, I'm going to use this Anastasia GLOW KIT. Now there's 2 colors in here, as you can see, that I absolutely love. I blend the 2 and I use this as my highlighter. So here I'm just doing C's around my eyes, making sure I'm getting the higher points of my cheekbones, and I go down the center of my nose. So now that it's been about 5 minutes, we're going to go ahead and use a brush just to take off that translucent powder. And there we go, we're good to go. The next process that we're going to do is our eyebrows. Now this is the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade. I absolutely love using this product, and what I like to use is a small angled brush, and on the other end it's this kind of mascara wand with no product on it. Here I dip into the pomade and start kind of lining and tracing my natural eyebrows. This is just going to make them look a lot more fuller. After I've applied the pomade, I like to use the other side of the brush that is that kind of mascara wand. Here you can see the before and after. It's just going to make it look a lot more natural when you take the wand and run it through your eyebrows. So this way there's not a big chunk of deposit of product in your eyebrows. So next up, what we're going to do is eyeshadow. Now here, we're going to use this Morphe palette that I actually picked up at IMATS. Now this palette is awesome with all the tones of browns it has, and I'm going to list all the colors below. So first off, with an eyeshadow brush, we're going to dip it into the gold color. Inside the eyeshadow, I'm going to place the product all over my eyelid. After swiping the eyeshadow back and forth, sometimes to get it a little bit more stronger and more visible, I will pat down the product onto my eyelids. This will just make it look a little bit more intense. After we're finished doing our eyelids, I'm going to switch brushes, and here I'm using a blending brush into kind of a medium tone brown, and I'm going to use this Kleenex to help as a guide. So here I'm going to place the product in my crease, swiping back and forth. This is where the key is all about blending. To really enrich this eye and make it pop, I'm going to use one of the darkest browns. Again, with the Kleenex acting as a guide and to help with any fallout because it is a deeper color, I'm going to use this to kind of really buff the outer corners of my eye to make it really smoky and intense. Now, if you don't mind adding a little bit more intensity to your eyes, this is where I like to use a pencil brush and use it in, again, the darkest brown, and I'm just lining this underneath my eyes. This is going to make them really pop. Again, it does depend on eye shape, I find, but if your eyes can hold a lot of product, this is a great way to make them stand out. Now, one of my must-have products is this Chanel Shroom eyeshadow. I use this as a brow highlight. So I use this underneath my brows just to really make them kind of, give that highlight. And then I'm going to use the product, and you're going to notice I'm going to use it inside the eyeshadow that I've already applied. This is where I'm really buffing and having it blend and let it come all together so that way it looks nicely blended. This next product, this is the MAC Blacktrack liner. Now it comes in kind of this little pot, and I use a small angled brush and my MAC Fix Plus to wet the brush, placing it inside the product, and I like to start with the outer wing first. So here I just start doing my outer wing, kind of tracing it along the shadow line that we've already used with the Kleenex. This kind of helped out. And now I'm doing light, small little strokes along my lash line. Now again, it depends on the intensity. If you don't mind using some darker colors on your inner waterline, then go ahead. This, I'm using again the same product, the Blacktrack, on my inner waterline. Now again, you want to be really careful with the products that you use just because your eyes are so delicate. For mascara, I'm going to use the Benefit They Are Real mascara. Now this wand is awesome. It really elongates your lashes, making them look fuller and long. Now you want to make sure that you're using the mascara on the top of your lashes first, and then kind of using the brush to brush your lashes upwards. So that way you get that fullness and length. Afterwards, for the bottom lashes, this is where I like to swipe left and right. So that way you get a good, decent amount of product, but not too much. For lips, we're going to use today the Spice Lip Liner by MAC Cosmetics. I've honestly had this liner since I was 16 years old. I remember my first modeling class, they had told us to go to a cosmetic counter to pick up some makeup products that were closest to our skin tone. And for lips, the lady at MAC, she had sold me this Spice liner, and here it is 16 years later. I'm still using it and loving it. I like to go ahead and line my lips with this liner, and then I'm going to shade in my lip. I find that when you shade in your lip, it does make your lipstick last longer. For lipstick today, this color is called Velvet Teddy. And there we are. That is today's full coverage look with more of that kind of goldy browns on the eyes. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and leave all your questions below, and we'll see you guys again soon. Thank you.